The story goes that Warren Buffett once tried to hustle Bill Gates. Not with stocks, not with some billion-dollar deal. With dice. As the tale is usually told, Buffett pulls out a set of unusual dice and offers Gates a friendly game. The rules could not be simpler. You pick any die you like. I pick one of the ones left over. We roll. Highest number wins. And Buffett, ever the gentleman, says, you choose first. Pick whichever one looks best to you. Now, Bill Gates is not a man you ambush with arithmetic. He picks up the dice. He turns them over. He reads the faces one by one. And then he does something that tells you everything about why he's Bill Gates. But I'm not going to tell you what he did. Not yet. Because by the end of this video, you'll do it yourself. First, you and I are going to play the exact same game. Here are the 3 dice. Red, blue, and green. Ordinary 6-sided cubes. Only the numbers painted on them are strange. The red die has just 3 different values. A pair of 2s, a pair of 4s, and a pair of 9s. The blue die, a pair of 1s, a pair of 6s, and a pair of 8s. And the green die, a pair of 3s, a pair of 5s, and a pair of 7s. Since every value appears twice, each die is really just 3 numbers, each coming up 1 time in 3. Now let's check for cheating, because I would absolutely cheat if I could. Add up the faces. Red comes to 30. Blue comes to 30. Green 30. Same total. Same average roll of 5 on every single die. On average, these dice are perfectly identical. Not one of them is heavier, hotter, or luckier than the others. One more thing, and it matters. No number appears on 2 different dice. So when 2 of them roll against each other, there is never a tie. Someone always wins. 3 honest dice. Same average. No tais. What could possibly go wrong? Let's find out which die is best the honest way. A tournament. First match. Red against blue. Look at the 2 fighters for a second. Red has that monstrous 9, the biggest number in the whole set, but its other faces are a feeble 2 and 4. Blue has no 9, but it's got a sturdy 6 and a heavy 8, and one embarrassing little one. So commit to a guess. Red with a knockout punch? Or blue with a solid bodywork? Or is it dead even? Pause if you want to actually work it out. Each die is 3 values, so there are only 9 ways a roll can land. Locked in? Let's count. Each die shows one of 3 values, so a duel is a 3x3 grid. 9 equally likely face-offs. Watch Red's 9 first. When the 9 comes up, blue is dead. It beats blue's 1, it's 6, and it's 8. 3 wins, just like that. And now watch blue's 1. When the 1 comes up, blue loses to anything red shows. That hands red 2 more wins from its 2 and its 4. Added up, 5 of the 9 squares belong to red. Red beats blue 5 ways out of 9, about 56%. Not a landslide, a lean, but a permanent built-in lean. So, red is better than blue. Round 1 settled. Round 2, blue against green. Green is the most boring die ever painted, a 3, a 5, a 7. No stars, no duds. Mr. Consistent. Same method. 9 equally likely face-offs. When blue rolls its 8, green has no answer. The 8 outranks green's 3, its 5, and its 7. 3 wins. When blue rolls its 6, it still tops green's 3 and 5. 2 more. That's 5 squares for blue. And yes, blue's pathetic 1 loses to everything, but it doesn't matter. 5 out of 9. The exact same score as the last fight. Blue beats green, 56%. So now we have a ranking, right? Red beats blue. Blue beats green. Strongest to weakest. Red, then blue, then green. That's how better than works. That's how it has always worked. If I'm taller than you, and you're taller than your friend, I'm taller than your friend. Every time. No exceptions. Hold that thought very tightly, because it's about to betray you. So here's the game, and now you're playing me. The 3 dice are on the table. Red beats blue. Blue beats green. You've seen the math with your own eyes. And I'm feeling generous, just like Buffett was. You choose first. Any die you like. Then I take one of the leftovers, and we roll for money. Pause the video. Genuinely commit. Which die do you take? And while you're at it, predict what I'll do next. If you're like basically everyone, you grab red. Top of the chain. The obvious champion. So you take red, and I smile, and I take green. The die at the very bottom of the ranking. Let's roll. Green against red. The worst die against the best one. 9 face-offs. Count them with me. A third of the time, red rolls its 9, and yes, the 9 beats everything I have. 3 squares for red. But the other 2/3 of the time, red shows a 2 or a 4. And against a 2 or a 4, my boring little green die is a monster. My 3, my 5, my 7, they all stomp your lonely 2. 3 squares for me. And my 5 and my 7 both clear your 4. 2 more. Count it up. 5 of the 9 squares are green. Green beats red. 5 out of 9. 56%. The exact same edge red had over blue. The same edge blue had over green. So red beats blue. Blue beats green. And green beats red. The ranking isn't a ladder. It's a circle. There is no best die. There is no worst die. Every die on this table has a predator. Whichever one you pick, I just pick the one that eats it. You take red, I take green. You take blue, I take red. You take green, I take blue. You cannot win this game going first. Not because you chose badly. Because best doesn't exist here. If that result feels wrong, like the universe broke a rule, let's name the rule it broke. The rule is called transitivity. If one thing beats a second, and the second beats a third, the first should beat the third. Taller than, heavier than, older than, they all behave. Our brains run on that rule. It's how we rank anything at all. But here's the thing. Those well-behaved comparisons are all measured by a single number on a single scale. Beats, for dice, is not a single number. It's a matchup. Each of these dice isn't simply strong or weak. Each one is a strategy. Red is the gambler. 1 knockout face, 2 terrible ones. It feasts on blue, whose weakness lines up perfectly with red's cannon. Blue is the brawler. Solid mid-range muscle that flattens green's polite little numbers. And green is the grinder. Never spectacular, never awful. Exactly the profile that farms red on all the rolls where the 9 doesn't show. Strength against one opponent says nothing about strength against another. You already knew a game that works like this. Rock, paper, scissors. Nobody asks which of rock, paper, or scissors is best. The question is obviously broken. These dice are rock, paper, scissors wearing the costume of a ranking. And the costume is what makes it a hustle. Now, maybe 56% doesn't sound like a hustle to you. It's barely better than a coin flip, right? Let me put that number in context. A casino's edge at the roulette wheel is a few percent. A few. And on that sliver, they built the entire city of Las Vegas. My edge in this dice game is 11 points, 55.5 against 44.5. Pirrol. That's not a casino edge. That's a casino's dream. And edges like that don't stay small. They compound. 1 roll, sure, you win plenty. Best of 5, I'm clearly ahead. Best of 50, you're buying dinner. Don't take my word for it. Let's just roll a lot. Here's green versus red, dueling over and over, hundreds of times, the computer doing the sweating. Watch the win bars. Yours bounces around early. Luck is loud in small numbers. But as the rolls pile up, the bars settle, right where the grid promised. 5 out of 9. Every matchup in the circle, the same quiet, relentless lean. Played long enough, this stops being a game of chance. It's a tax, and whoever picked second is collecting it. And here's where this stops being a bar trick and becomes a little disturbing. That circle, superiority refusing to form a ranking, shows up in places with much higher stakes than dice. Watch this. 3 friends are voting on dinner. Maya, Omar, and Lily. 3 options: pizza, sushi, tacos. Maya's ranking: pizza first, then sushi, then tacos. Omar's ranking: sushi first, then tacos, then pizza. Lily's ranking: tacos first, then pizza, then sushi. Every individual ranking is perfectly sane. Straight lines, no loops, no contradictions. Now run the head-to-head votes. Pizza against sushi. Maya votes pizza, Lily votes pizza. Pizza wins 2-1. Sushi against tacos. Maya and Omar both put sushi higher. Sushi wins 2-1. So the group prefers pizza to sushi and sushi to tacos. The group's favorite is obviously pizza. Except, run the last match. Tacos against pizza. Omar ranks tacos above pizza. So does Lily. Tacos wins 2-1. Pizza beats sushi beats tacos beats pizza. 3 completely rational people, and the group they form has no favorite. Just a loop. This is the Condorcet paradox, and it's been haunting voting theory for over 2 centuries. It's the same reason my team beat your team, and your team beat theirs proves nothing about the rematch. The same reason every tier list you've ever argued about might not have a real top. Majorities, matchups, metas, better than is allowed to be a circle. And once you've seen the circle, you can't unsee it. Which brings us back to that table in Omaha. Warren Buffett, 3 strange dice, and an offer. Pick whichever die you like, and I'll pick after you. As the legend is told, Gates reads the faces, and somewhere in those numbers, he sees it, the circle. He sees that pick whichever you like isn't generosity. It's the trap itself. Whatever he picks, Buffett picks its predator. So Gates hands the dice back and says, in effect, no, you choose first. The only winning move in a rock-paper-scissors world is to move second. And that's the real lesson, and it's bigger than dice. We assume every comparison lines up into a ranking, a best phone, a best player, a best choice. Usually it does. But better than only behaves when it's one number on one scale. The moment it's a matchup, it's allowed to loop. And in a loop, the question, which is best, isn't hard. It's meaningless. So, next time someone smiles, slides the choice across the table, and says, you first, pick whatever looks best. Do what Bill Gates did. Smile back and say, after you. Here's your homework, and I genuinely want to see answers in the comments. These 3 dice all sum to 30, and every arrow in the circle is exactly 5 out of 9. Can you build your own set, 3 dice, same total, where each one beats the next around a loop? And tell me the best real world better than loop you've ever met. A sports season, a tier list, a family argument about restaurants. I'll see you for the next bet. Bring dice. I'll choose second.